Today's question comes from Scott in Vermont. I know your company teaches to never use credit cards, but I'm having a hard time letting go of mine. The rewards that I earn are very beneficial to my family because we love to travel. My wife and I put all our utilities, groceries, and other expenses on our card and pay it off every month. What's the problem with doing this if we never pay any interest on the card? This is an age-old question, Dave. How many times have you answered this one?
6,000 or 8,000. But the thing is, you just did a great episode on the fine print about this.
Yes, we did one on credit card rewards. And
the numbers are worse than I remembered.
Yeah, the true cost of credit card rewards is what that episode was called. And we talked to an ex-Capital One lady named Elena, and she really unpacked the secrets that they're using to take your money. And a lot of people think, well, I'm not paying any interest. So what's the big deal, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm not paying any more than I would have if I paid on it with a debit card.
Well, obviously that's not true. Okay, you're not paying any interest. But here's what we know from the studies. Carnegie Mellon did a detailed study using MRI, and they actually determined that when you use cash, it activates the pain centers of the brain. When you use plastic, nothing happens. No brain. But but I mean, it's just left flatline, right? And so what it amounts to is you emotionally experience buying something and have a tendency to spend less when you spend cash. Visualize, everybody listening right now, a $100 bill in your hand leaving your hand. Oh, God! Right? And visualize you handing. Here's an interesting thing, too, Rachel Cruz brought up years ago. When you hand them the $100 bill, they don't give you it back. When you hand them your plastic, they give it back. Think about when you were a kid or something and you were trading. You traded something. Or when you give up something to get something. That's what you do when you pay for something with money. But when you give them your card, they give it back. You didn't lose anything. See how that feels psychologically? So it doesn't activate the pain centers of the brain, plus cash just does. And so here's what all the studies tell us. Depending on the area and the item you're shopping for, you will spend 12 to 18% more when using plastic than you will when using cash. When using that's when using a credit card. When using a debit card, you'll even spend more. I use a debit card, but you'll spend more. I'll give you another example, okay? George, are you old enough to remember walking inside the store to pay for your gasoline?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before you'd paid at the pump. Okay? Let me tell you what happened the last time people had to walk inside and pay for gasoline, and it doubled in price. There was almost a revolution. They were going to burn Washington, D.C. down. Now it goes from $2.50 to $5, and nobody notices because you just plug it in the thing, pay for your gas, and walk away. The only thing you notice is you didn't seem like I got that much gas. Oh, that's weird. Okay, and you drive off. But if you walk into the store, the physical act of walking into the store and pay cash, and that registers that freaking gas is doubled. I'm gonna kill somebody. You start to have this experience. And so that, again, shows us that there's a behavior mechanism going on. You can take it one step further. Move away from plastic. Use to Apple Pay or Amazon Prime, where there's no friction at all. I mean, you're not even touching something physically. You're just waving you go to Home Depot and you wave your little phone across, and you just bought like a house of lumber, but you just waved your phone. But you didn't emotionally experience it.
No.
Right? I just bought tools. I don't even know what they do, but I just waved my little phone across.
I do it with my Apple Watch now.
Oh, yeah, it's even worse. Here's
what I do, Dave. You're going to love this. Starbucks drive-through line. You got the watch, and you just hand it over like a tiny king, and they kiss your wrist as they scan it, and you get your $7
Tiny
latte.
King will have a mocha.
Exactly. And the dopamine hits.
Kiss my wrist.
You can't beat it. That's the Starbucks experience. That's why people go, to feel like royalty.
Well, I have noticed that with the Dunkin' Donuts app that I buy more donuts too. But
that's how it works.
It's the same thing because you don't have to pay for it. It's already paid for. It's built in.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A, you can eat like half the dadgum restaurant and not even know you bought it. So the point being, guys, everybody falls for this stuff. I teach it and I catch myself falling for it. That's why Disney lets your room key, if you're staying on property, work to buy things all through Disney.
Smart.
That way they can charge you $82 for a raincoat they paid 12.5 cents for from China because Disney causes it to rain every afternoon on cue. But And it's built right into the system. $9 ice cream cone, right? But your room key did it, and you don't even think anything about it. It's the happiest place on earth. And then you go to check out, and you're like, oh my God, I got to refinance the house. It's like, so this is what's going on. So that's the problem with his little theory.
Yeah.
Is he thinks he's the exception to all that because he got some airline miles. Here's the other thing. 78% of the airline miles are never redeemed. That's 8 out of 10.
That's sad.
That's everybody, okay? So if you do try to redeem them, Jupiter has to be aligned with Mars to get on the plane. I mean, you have to get the age of Aquarius to get everything to work out.
There's all kinds of restrictions on those points.
Exactly.
And that they do points on purpose. If it was actual money, you'd know. But with points, I got 48,000 points.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I'm wealthy.
And your point that was a fabulous metaphor you used in the fine print episode.
Oh,
it's like going to Chuck E. Cheese. You spend $83 getting all these tickets to trade it for a 12.5-cent plastic ring. But I got me a lot of tickets.
That's your cash back.
And it's all free, by the way. It's all free because it came with a pizza,
I tell people to give yourself cash back. Save up for your own vacation. That's what you can do when you're debt-free and you make a plan for your money. I don't have to hope at the end of the year that we have enough points to take our family on a trip.
We stayed 10,000 plus millionaires. And 90% of them, 89% of them were first-generation rich, started with nothing. And out of all 10,000 millionaires we interviewed, not a single one said, made all my money with my airline miles. They didn't say that.
Wow.
They didn't say, I gamed the system. I scammed old Capital One. Because I'm smarter than old Capital One. I mean, I'm smarter than they spent more on that one commercial that ran one time than I made in a year, but I'm smarter than them. The arrogance of this is unbelievable. So the fact that you think you're whipping their butt, Scott, is kind of humorous. I'm sorry, son. You're not whipping their butt. They're whipping yours. This is how they built buildings taller than your house. You would love to just trade the furniture in their lobby for your home. But no, you've paid for every bit of it. And I know you think you didn't fall for it, but you spent more, and the number of times during your life you fall off the wagon, don't pay it on time, and accidentally slip into interest, because a high percentage of credit card users eventually pay some interest.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks they're the exception. A little bit like a fishing story, like golfing story. That one time when I hit the ball just right, that one time I caught that big fish, and you spent $7 million trying to get to the point you got that one fish, and it's just like, it's the same crap.
Yeah.
So, dude, follow what millionaires do, not what broke people with theories do. And that's what people playing credit card points are. They're broke people with theories. And if that makes some of you mad out there, good. That's my spiritual gift. This is The Ramsey Show.